Derek Seehausen was a 26-year-old man who lived in Los Angeles, California. Derek was studying medicine at the University of Southern California. He was an incredibly intelligent student, often scoring in the top 1% of his exams. Not only that, he finished 5th place in the 18 to 24 category of the Ironman Challenge. Things were going well for him. It seemed like he had a promising future ahead. This case takes place on the 5th of August 2014. Derek went out socializing with some friends, but he had to get up early in the morning for work, so he said his goodbyes to his friends and made his way back at 9 PM. But Derek never showed up at medical school. This was incredibly out of character for such a hard-working student with a record of being the top of his class. His classmates and friends knew something wasn't quite right. His classmates made a call to his mother just to make sure everything was okay, but she had not heard from him either. His family tried their best to reach out to him. All of these attempts were unsuccessful. His mother reported him missing to the authorities. Investigators began to track his movements after he left his friends. They started off by going to his apartment, and in there they found that he had left behind his wallet, car keys, iPad, laptop and phone. All of the things that he would need if he was to leave for a while. The police would later discover that he had withdrawn $200 from an ATM machine. The money and a Californian state ID were the only things missing from his wallet. When investigators looked around his apartment, they didn't find anything out of the ordinary. There were no signs of foul play. Detectives then got their hands on some footage from some cameras in the area, and they were able to piece together some of Derek's last moments before being reported missing. When he left his friends, he was wearing blue jeans and a blue shirt. He then went home and changed clothes into a maroon t-shirt and shorts. At 10:33 PM, Derek was captured on cameras inside a supermarket. He went to an ATM and withdrew the $200 which I mentioned before. He bought a box of cereal and some milk before quickly leaving. Back at his apartment, the police noticed that the $200 was not with his personal belongings. They did find the box of cereal that had been opened and eaten, but the milk was still sealed. His friends and family have noted that the $200 ATM transaction was highly unusual because Derek didn't like to carry around cash. At 11:15 PM, he made some edits to his Google Documents. Then, at 11:34 PM, he went to drop off some keys. A close friend of his had allowed him to use his apartment as it was a quiet place to study. When he arrived at the apartment, he went upstairs, used one of the keys to open the door, dropped off the keys, and then swiftly left and made his way back to his apartment. Derek then made a $2,999 payment to his friend from an iPhone. The friend had lent him the money so he could pay for his tuition fees. The plan was that Derek would pay the money back after he graduated, but to his friend's surprise, he sent it back a lot earlier than he was supposed to. His friend sent him a message asking why he had sent the money back so early. Derek never responded. It appears that Derek got back to his apartment. He put his wallet, keys and phone down and left. At 11:58 PM, he was captured by a surveillance camera walking on foot. He is seen without a bag, walking alone. He didn't have his passport with him, but he did have his Californian state ID and the $200 in cash. What's strange is that he could have actually taken out $300. He was also wearing 2 jackets, despite it being 18 degrees that night. He was also wearing these very distinct running shoes. Investigators went over all of the surveillance footage in that area, but there were no further sightings of Derek. It's likely that he could have gotten onto a bus. His phone records showed that there were no calls made to a taxi, nor any Uber trips booked. These are the last confirmed sightings of Derek before he vanished without a trace. Friends and family of Derek are baffled, as he was always optimistic about his future and put so much effort into his studies. They also said that he never spoke about any serious unhappiness or depression that would make them think he would just leave without saying goodbye. Although of course, not everyone speaks up. Derek got along with his family and called them often for a chat. He told them that he had fallen in love with California and had no intentions of leaving anytime soon. Derek's family have hired private detectives who have attempted to locate him. Although they were unsuccessful, they do believe he is still alive. Derek was initially training to become an orthopedic surgeon, but he had to make a shift to anesthesiology due to developing plantar fasciitis, a foot condition that makes it painful to stand for long periods of time. He was disappointed at first, but he soon warmed to the new prospect of starting a new area of expertise. One theory in the disappearance is that the pressure and stress of medical school, with the added stress of having to start a new area of medicine, could have sparked some kind of mental breakdown. Derek was also planning a trip to Costa Rica with some friends, and he spoke to his mother about how excited he was. In preparation for this trip, he had bought some items online. These items were delivered soon after he vanished. The case of Derek is truly baffling. There have been some possible sightings of him. On September the 5th, 2014, the LAPD released a series of images of a man bearing some resemblance to Derek on an LA Metropolitan bus. And on the 9th of September 2014, police received a tip from someone who believed they saw a person resembling Derek, shuffling his feet as he walked along. His condition could explain the shuffling walk. Now, what is worth mentioning is that I found a statement from Derek's brother, which has since been deleted from the official Find Derek website. I found it archived on the Wayback Machine. It read that Derek was 18 when his father disappeared unexpectedly. His father was found after being missing for several weeks. He was found by some relatives in the wilderness near a rest stop. A few months later, his father disappeared again. He likely left due to depression and bipolar disorder. Derek has a passion and a love for the outdoors. His family believe that he could be out there somewhere living in the wilderness. It is possible that he took some inspiration from his father. Perhaps he chose to move away from the stress of modern life. At the time of recording, right this very second, Derek has been missing for exactly 7 years. Coincidentally, I'm recording at the exact same time he was last seen on camera. Derek is 6 feet tall and weighs 180 pounds. He has brown hair and hazel eyes. He has a burn scar on his right arm. He was last seen wearing a black hoodie, a maroon t-shirt and tan shorts. Anyone with information on Derek's whereabouts can contact the LAPD Missing Person Unit. The details will be in the description. I will also leave a link to the website. There, you can find messages from his friends and family, who just want to know that if he is still out there, that he is okay.